Often in Access, it will be helpful to display data in order or look at specific records or even how to freeze certain fields. So we're going to look at how to sort and filter data in Access 2013. Sorting is going to allow you to order records, so in alphabetical order or from largest to smallest. If we wanted to view only specific records, so maybe the records of employees in a particular department, we could create a filter to display just those records. And then later on we'll also discuss hiding or freezing certain fields. So once again, I am going to pull up the database that we have previously worked with, which is the Fourth Coffee database. And for this one, I am going to open up the customers table. And we're going to look at a couple of examples of sorting data within a table. And to sort data means to arrange it alphabetically, numerically, or chronologically. And sorting in a table is going to display all of the records in the order that we select. Ascending is going to sort from smallest to largest, or from beginning to end, or A to Z. And then descending is going to sort from largest to smallest, which would be from the end to the beginning, such as sorting alphabetical records from Z to A, or numerical records from 10 to 1. And we'll look at how to sort and then also how we can remove sorts after we're finished when we need to remove them. And there are a couple ways that we can sort data. One of those ways is from the Home tab in the Sort and Filter group to use our ascending or descending buttons. The other way is to click on a field heading and use our Sort Smallest to Largest or Sort Largest to Smallest buttons there. So for example, if we wanted to look at customers by their alphabetically sorted names, then we can simply click on last name, tell it to sort A to Z, and now we have our list of customers sorted alphabetically. And you can see that all the data stays correct. So the first name stays with the correct last name and all of that when we make any of those sorts. If we no longer need that sort, then we can always click the Remove Sort button, which is in the Sort and Filter group, and that puts our data back as it was when we opened up this table. There are other times that we might need to filter data, and a filter is a set of rules for determining which records will be displayed. And when we apply filters, Access will display only the records that meet the criteria that we specify. That doesn't mean that the other records are deleted, it just means that they are not showing. So I'm going to use the coffee inventory table to show you an example of filtering. So let's say that we want to look for only coffee that is decaf. So a good way to look for that would be to bring up only coffees that have decaf in the product name. So one way to do that filter would be to click the Filter button on the Sort and Filter group from the Home tab. And you can see that that brings up our little filtering dialog box here. We could have also just clicked the down arrow here to get that. And we're going to go to Text Filters, and we're going to pick Contains because we are looking for any product name that contains decaf. And we do have to make sure, of course, that when we're filtering this way we correctly spell whatever it is that we're looking for. And now when we click OK, we are going to only see coffees that contain that word decaf. So here is a list of all of our decaf filters. When we're done looking at it this way and we want to display all of our data again, we can simply click Toggle Filter. It removes that filter and we can see all of our data. Notice that it does save the filter that I did, so that if I click Toggle Filter again, I can go back to that filtered view. Perhaps I want to look for coffees that do not have decaf. So this time I'm going to show you how to filter a different way by going in and clicking the button decaf here, and you can see that when I double click on decaf it will select the whole word for me. And if I right click, I get a shortcut menu, and one of my options is does not contain decaf. So if I click that here, then I can do a filter that way as well, and now I'm looking at only results that do not contain the word decaf. I can do the same thing with numbers. So maybe I want to then look at coffees that aren't decaf that only are a certain number of pounds. So I'm going to click the filter button in my home tab, and you can see that I already have a text filter here on the product name field. So I'm going to make sure to click on that pounds field and then click filter, and you can see that I have some of the same options, but I'm looking at number filters here instead of text filters. So I could look for specific numbers by looking for pounds that only equal a certain number or do not equal, but in this case I'm just going to check only the one that I'm looking for, which is the one that's 25 pounds in this case, and click OK. And now I'm looking at coffees that are not decaf that are 25 pounds. Now, if I want to remove a filter, then I simply need to click whatever field it is I want to remove the filter for, and I can click the filter button or click the drop down and simply choose clear filter, and that removes the filter from that field. If I want to remove all filters, then on the Home tab in that Sort and Filter group, I can choose Advanced and choose to clear all filters. And now I see all of my data displayed just as it was earlier.